Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wind Up on YouTube. Once again, I am here with, as promised, a few duels between me and some random opponents. This is my Chaotic Cyber Dragon deck profile. It's the unfinished version. I did lose one game against this other Cyber Dragon player, which was hilarious because I gave him like 2 or 3 extra turns or whatever, but you'll see that later in the video. Um, his deck was like really beginner like status, but he beat me because I slept on him and he caught me with a magic cylinder for game. He got my life points pretty low. I'll give him that. He did good. He did good. I started with a really bad hand and I held my own ground. I could have finished him more than once and I chose to kind of just fall back and let them have some fun, because that's what Yu-Gi-Oh is about. It's about having fun, not utterly destroying your opponent every time you get a chance. But especially when you get a mirror match and you're having a conversation back and forth with the person. I think it's a little bit more than just winning. I think it's more about having fun at that point. But I had a great time dueling the guy. So I told him I would post the video. Uh, I would upload that battle into my videos and post it on the channel just because he played Cyber Dragons. I like mirror matches with Cyber Dragons, and I don't care if your deck sucks or it's the greatest thing flying in the sky. I'm gonna post it if I battle you online. So, anyone ever do? If anyone ever do, Jesus. If anyone ever does run into me online, definitely turns out to be a mirror match, you're gonna get a good shout out. This one, hands down, people, was the most fun I had all day. Not because it was a big challenge, but because this guy was playing the most basic Cyber Dragon deck I have seen since I first started playing Cyber Dragons. This guy brought some old school stuff back. I mean, for goodness sakes, he had Cyber Kieran and Cyber Phoenix. And he won. Not because he was that great and he just, overpowered me or blasted me with an OTK. He's got some good moves. I'll give him that. I'm not gonna say he sucks. No, he's far from trash. The guy's good. I had a bad opening first hand. He took advantage of that. Great dueling skills. Some people won't take advantage of it and they'll try to play for some fancy stuff. He just went in with, optimal damage as much as possible. I blasted his board. He came back with a little shimmy sham a couple turns later, and I could have ended the duel, but I wanted to see what he had. And sure enough, he showed me his all, and he gave me a magic cylinder to the face for game. I felt so good for losing that duel because that's something I needed. I needed a loss. I needed something from a lower level Cyber Dragon deck. Something that wasn't on par with mine. It just made me feel like, there's hope for duelists after all that have originality. This guy has originality. Yugi King is his name on YGO Pro. Shout out to Mr. Yugi King for being original and for having fun. And for whooping my behind on YouTube. Anyway, y'all, this guy, man, it's not about being the best, man. It's about having fun and being original. This guy literally made a Zane Truesdale deck, y'all. Like, come on. He played literally everything I have never even touched. I'm not gonna say never. I haven't touched half of these cards. Cyber Phoenix, Cybernetic Shock Wave, or whatever that thing's called. I haven't touched these cards in years. They've never been in a deck past, I think, the past 4 or 5 years now. Probably six. No, what has it been? 6, 7 years now? Probably. Somewhere along those numbers. But anyway, this guy, he used old and new, and he did his dang thing, man. He did his thing. Like 4,000 to the face with Fortress? Come on. That's an old school move, y'all. That's old school. This guy, man, he made me feel alive again. Most people I play with Cyber Dragon decks have like, stupid combos that are all meta based. They don't have nothing to do with, uh, let's say the archetype itself. If you want to use cards to make combos with, that's cool. Put them in your deck. But when I see, you know, everyone using the same exact thing for the past 2 years, which is Galaxy Soldier, Kaijus, Nibiru, staple cards like Ash Blossom and other hand trap monsters of that nature, of the ghost ogres and whatnot, all the sisters, the ghost sisters. It's just a little annoying that you would waste time putting those cards in a Cyber Dragon deck when you have other things already in the deck that can negate stuff and kind of like push your opponent to I don't know, kind of push them to overexert their resources. Like I don't see why you need the extra overexertion. There it is. Game to the face. Magic cylinder, y'all. Give a shout out to Yugimoto King, y'all. This man is a true OG. Anyways, moving on to another duel here, we have my Cyber Dragons versus a ritual deck based on, I believe, fairies and the Heralds. He had a good first opening board, but Dark Ruler kind of just set him up for the okie doke, so I'll let you guys watch this and see how it turns out. Herald of Perfection. Yeah, this deck's not bad. I believe Dark Ruler No More is kind of a double-edged sword in this deck from as many duels as I've used it in. It could help you out to get over your opponent's board, but it could also cost you a turn for activating it because it prevents your opponent from taking any damage during the turn you activate it. So if you could pull off a possible one turn kill during the turn you activate Dark Rule, you kind of have to weigh the options whether or not it's worth activating it. I mean, if your opponent has stuff to negate, 2 or 3 cards that you're going to activate before you play Dark Rule, you might as well just go ahead and activate it. But in another case where maybe they might negate only 1 card and then your other cards are free to play because they only have like Dragoon or something, but you can still OTK them, I would kind of probably just hold on to the card and then just go for the OTK play and see what happens, Because it could help you out on next turn if they do overflush their board with more monsters. So that way you need to get over them, you could Dark Rule them the next turn and then, play for another turn and try to win that way. So, it's all about weighing the options and just making, split turn decisions. And this duel turned out to be a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. I thought he was going to spam summon Heralds back to the field with those incantation monsters, but I didn't know it was in his hand at the time, so I kind of was just waiting for the worst. But turned out to be a lot better for me. I also think I play against Salamengreat. That guy, he tried his hardest, but I asked him not to quit, the game before we started playing, and he agreed not to, but at the end, when I exerted his resources by outplaying him, he got really angry and rage quit. So here we are with the final match for today. This was the last testing that I did for my Cyber Dragon Cybernetic Chaos. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm playing Salamengreat, and this guy did a good job, holding his own. I'm really not a big fan of Salamengreat because of all the link summoning. It's just a little bit outside my play range. I like to play fusions and synchros more than anything. Those are my favorite types of monsters, so I'm not a big fan of link monsters. That's why I usually only run 1 Seeger. Sometimes I'll put 2 in the deck, but I never really summon it even when I get a chance. It's just, link monsters are okay. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just, I don't like using their tactics in order to summon a bunch of things to the field. It's just not my play style. I'd rather, play old school and do it the hard way, like Like this guy, I probably could have maybe destroyed him this game. I'm not exactly sure. Let me see. I want to read this card's effect for a second. Yeah, I think if I did not activate the Dark Ruler no more, I may have won this game for an OTK. But I chose to activate it because I was unknowledgeable of what those cards did, and I did not feel like reading them, so I just felt as though I should activate it. But you live and you learn. So, one wrong move like Dark Ruler No More at the wrong time can give your opponent another turn to come back. Another wrong move like Called by the Grave on the wrong type of monster from their graveyard could also cost you big time. But I think I did pretty well for making two misplays, and I still won. But like I said, this guy rage quit at the end of the game. I kind of asked him not to at the beginning of the duel, like I said earlier, and you can only take people but so seriously until that moment comes when you literally just outplay them to the point where they just get so aggravated they think they're going to have a comeback. Like right here, this guy truly believed he was going to come back and beat me from that board wipe. It just did not work. Every turn I got him for some type of weird play. Like, this is why I run two Mega Fleets in my extra deck, because Salamengreats, I know they use a bunch of Link monsters, and it's just aggravating to get over their effects, so I just like to munch on them, and I just feed them to Mega Fleet. It's a lot easier just to feed my Mega Fleet than to try to activate something or summon 3 or 4 monsters and go for a fusion play or an Exceed play or some sort. It's just, it's just more fun for me. But yeah, this guy did good, man. He really pushed the limits of my deck. He made me play outside of my comfort zone. Normally I won't summon Mega Fleet at all unless I have to. He forced me to play both Mega Fleets, turn after turn. So yeah, kudos to this man or woman. But nonetheless, this is basically what happened. Can't really get too much into details because you guys are seeing it happen right in front of your eyes. This is a custom built deck of my own design that's playing against other people online. There's the rage quit, and it's doing good. It's not the greatest thing ever. It's not, oh, it's a guaranteed OTK or a guaranteed win every time you use this deck. No, it's just fun, and it's really competitive even in its test version. So once I fine tune it and tighten it up, this thing's gonna be a beast. So nonetheless, I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys can drop me a like, give me a subscription maybe, in the comment section below. Please let me know if you're enjoying these videos, if you're not enjoying these videos. I would really appreciate some feedback, y'all. Don't forget to turn on post notifications. If you are watching my videos, you're gonna get the latest updates every day. And on that note, Windup is out. Peace, y'all.